is not one of those I would get behind. I would say most of the hires, at least you could argue Arthur Smith to Atlanta. I could, whether it works or not, you could make the argument for it. This one I can't.
Well, they're committing to him for a very long time.
What?
They gave him a 6-year deal in Detroit.
Oh, boy. That's longer than our deal.
It's much longer.
So the Lions like Dan Campbell more than our bosses like us. Something is wrong.
He went 5-7 as a Dolphins interim head coach. The highest position he's held in the NFL, besides interim head coach, is assistant head coach and tight ends coach with the Saints. He's never been a coordinator. So
not a huge fan of this move, Joy. I think I wouldn't say it's dismay. Now that Cleveland has righted the ship.
Yes.
And I think they have. Cleveland, this is what we looked at and saw with you for 20 years when you would get defensive. All you Brown fans would get defensive. This is what you were. Hiring Freddie Kitchens. We were like...
Freddie Kitchens was actually the first person that came to my mind when this hire was made official.
Like, that's not a head coach.
It's not a head coach. And listen, it's not... I was in Miami when that happened. And listen, the rah-rah, like running through walls and like leader of men, like that's all great. And that works until you lose 3 straight games. And it's like, all right, why don't you just get in the lab and figure out what's actually going on here?
That's right.
Like, yes, you do need a certain level of presence and leadership. That, like, should go without saying, though. Like, that should just be who you are.
It's interesting, though. Now, he is now, I don't want to say, this sounds so harsh. He's kind of fooled 2 people. Like, 2 organizations have given him the nod. So there must be something he does in the interview process. I mean, he's a big physical guy.
I mean, look, like, we've seen this happen before. 6 years is a really long time to commit to someone who's never even been a coordinator. And I think the difference between Detroit fans and Browns fans is the Detroit fans, the Lions fans I know have just submitted to this lifestyle. Like, I love Detroit, so I would love to see the Lions actually be in the conversation. But if you look around that division, I mean, what about this hire inspires you to think that the next step is you're going to win the division? Look, we could be wrong, but I just feel like this is an incredible reach. And I didn't like what I was hearing from the organization to begin with. They want a motivator. They want a culture creator. Like, go get someone who's done that before then. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. So Patrick Mahomes is still in concussion protocol, but making positive steps ahead of Sunday's AFC Championship game. He will reportedly have a very light practice today, and his workload is expected to ramp up during the week. He will do some tolerance tests, but currently has no symptoms. So
he'll play.
That's good news.
I've had a lot of pushback on my zany hypothesis that if he wasn't available till Monday, I would move the game. And everybody said that's crazy. Forget the fact the NBA changed their playoffs for Zion. But does the NFL ever move games to like Thursday night because it's good for television, though it's not good for the players?
Yeah.
What about this one? I'm doubling down. Let's say, I'll throw this out there. The protocol in the NFL said Patrick can play instead of 5:30 Kansas City time at 7:30. That's the protocol. Would you move the game back 2 hours?
Yes.
What if there was a traffic disturbance before the game with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? There was a massive traffic accident. None of the players were hurt, but 6 or 7 Packers could not get to the stadium, and the fans couldn't get in the stadium at Lambeau because of a traffic disturbance. But they could if you delayed the game 45 minutes. Would you delay the game?
Yes.
Oh, so there's a precedent. You would push the game back for circumstances. Maybe my idea was genius.
Well, I think moving it to a whole other day could possibly open some doors for debate moving forward if other teams' stars needed an extra day.
Yes, I guess you could see the world that way.
I think you and I, we agree on a lot of things. And one thing we agree on is that the NFL is a business.
It's a television show.
And it's a television show.
That's why you flex your schedule to Sunday night where good teams get punished. Kansas City will get punished for the next 10 years. They'll force them to play Thursdays and Sunday nights. That's a disadvantage for preparation. It's not a health and safety measure. Why? Because they're great. So, I mean, like the league's moved games to punish It eventually punishes great, exciting
not sexy.
teams.
It kind of takes away the authenticity of competition.
That's right.
But it's a television show.
That was a good
argument.
Television
show.
I was getting criticized. I didn't hear it. But
I do think he's going to play, though. Listening to Jay Glazer yesterday, because we were all kind of confused when he got hurt. Like, where is the head impact? Like, where did he hit his head?
Right.
And it looks like, and we are not doctors, we don't know, but Jay gave a really good explanation yesterday that maybe, perhaps, he just got choked out for a second, and that's why he was so wobbly.
Yes.
And if that's the case, that may bode better for him playing because it wasn't an actual concussion.
All I know is this. Patrick Mahomes is good. I'm good. Yeah. I'm going to watch the game now. Chips, guac, I'm watching the games.
Totally. Nachos. So Antonio Brown escaped a major injury after tweaking his knee in the Bucs win over the Saints on Sunday. He got an MRI that reportedly revealed no serious structural damage. He's considered day-to-day as the Bucs prepare for the Packers in the NFC Championship. He's not participating in the media access portion of today's practice.
All right.
He had one catch for 10 yards in the game this past weekend, but he did lead the Bucs with 33 targets in the last 4 regular season games. So he has become a favorite target of Tom Brady, who spread it around a lot.
He did. Cameron Brate.
Yes. Cameron Brate. Leonard Fournette actually led with receptions, 5 receptions. Chris Godwin had 4, and pretty much everyone else just got 1 reception. So he is able to spread it around, distribute it, not rely on Antonio Brown, but obviously you'd feel more comfortable having what's become basically his favorite target out there. So he's day-to-day, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Good stuff. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Nick Wright and I made a huge bet. We made a huge bet, and he said Buffalo wasn't going to win a playoff game. And I said they're going to end up in the AFC Championship. And he doesn't think they're any good. And now they're in the AFC Championship. And they may not beat Kansas City. Kansas City looked pretty good. Mahomes will play. Who knows? But he lost the bet, and he put it out there. He would do a Buffalo Bills celebration, mustard, ketchup. So he lost the bet, and I won the bet. So he's going to do that today. But before that, let's get to sports, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. I would say most of the hires, at least you could argue Arthur Smith to Atlanta. I could, whether it works or not, you could make the argument for it. This one I can't.
Well, they're committing to him for a very long time.
What?
They gave him a 6-year deal in Detroit.
Oh, boy. That's longer than our deal.
It's much longer.
So the Lions like Dan Campbell more than our bosses like us. Something is wrong.